Before you start asking questions about where I am, I have to let you guys know that this episode is going to be quite different from my other ones. Originally, I was recording this and let's just say I got to the end of the 4th kalpa after a really long boss fight. My hard drive ran out of space during the fight and I lost the first half of the recording. So that's the bad news. The good news is I do have the second half of the boss fight, because what I ended up doing was I stopped the recording halfway through just because I was getting a little tired, and I came back into the fight to try it again afterwards, and I got the second half not corrupted at all. So I do have the ending of the fight, and you can see my original, how I beat this guy originally. But what I'm going to do for this episode is, because this guy is actually really tough, and I figured that I should probably go through some sort of the fight and explain what happened the first time when I fought him, and all the subsequent tries, and all the things that I played around with in order to beat this guy. Now, I'm standing in front of the Wicked King's Hall, and this is inside the 4th kalpa. I will actually show you real quick. This is inside the Hell's Hall. So you can get in here by walking into the Halls of Eternity during the new moon. And if you remember this guy over here, this is the Mothman. I met him in the last episode and decided not to talk to him because he was on my left. If you do talk to him though, he tells you that his boss is like his boss's room is right here, and well, that's the room that I was at. So there's that. And then there's also Dr. Dark here, who will fully heal your party members if you pay him a reasonable fee. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal up before I go in here. I might not be able to beat him on this video, but I'm gonna show you the strategy I used. And then afterwards, what I'll just do is I'll edit in the original footage where I actually do beat him. And so you can see what it felt like when I actually won. Before the fight, actually, why don't we watch this cutscene first? Beelzebub, the ruler of death and warden of souls. The Beelzebub we know goes by a different appearance, but this guy, he's no stranger to us. This is the form that I'm most familiar with. Really cool. Alright, this guy is no pushover. At first, he seems like he's not really that challenging, but in terms of difficulty in bosses, there are, in my opinion, 2 types of bosses. There's a type that will just completely murder you real quick, real fast, kind of like the Matador. He is completely the opposite. he takes his time dissecting you, and it becomes a battle of attrition. And that, in my opinion, is why he's so hard. But the first thing you want to do, that I figured out, is that, well, apply your buffs. So he is extremely resistant to just about every attack, so you are not going to be doing much damage at all. That's why you need to really apply Tarukajas and Rakundas on him in order to do as much damage as you possibly can. And also get war cries to make him a lot weaker, because he is extremely, extremely strong as well. With that, I am at +3, or actually I think I'm at +4 even. But the first time I fought him, I didn't have any trouble really. I found him to be pretty much a pushover until he gets serious. So in the first half, there really is nothing to worry about. But soon you will see. Yeah, so with 4 Tarukajas and 3 Rakundas, my White Rider only did 200 damage to him. Okay, there goes the Chimera, which is fine. One thing you want to bring in to this guy is, I actually find that the Red Rider is just about the best guy to bring into this fight, because Red Rider is resistant to, or is void electricity, and I think he's also void force, which is the other element that this guy uses. So if you have Red Rider, you actually can eliminate a lot of this guy's turns if he chooses to use Mazandine or Mazeodine. Yeah. And that's actually super, super nice. I brought in new cavalry for this fight. The Black Rider, who I fused using Loki and the Nue. So this guy has mana refill as well. And this is the team that I used to beat this guy eventually. The one thing you want to do is always focus with K once you have all your buffs done. And Terrorblade with Red Rider. That's how you're going to get your damage going. I like getting 1 or 2 Makakajas on Black Rider so that he can full heal my team after every round. And because this fight is going to be so long, you're going to end up using a few chakra items just to restore Black Rider's MP, as well as the other guys as well, too. But for now, for the first half, really, you want to just do as much damage as you possibly can, because he is soon going to get serious. So for this guy, the Magatama you want to use, okay, now he's getting serious, but the Magatama you want to use is probably the Satan. Yeah, so when he's serious, he starts by decodging your entire team, so all your buffs are back to 0. And then he uses Focus on himself. Focus is going to one-shot your main character if he hits you. So what I like to do is I like to use an attack mirror, and what that does is it gives me an extra turn to debuff him. And the reason why I'm not debuffing him now is because he is not... so after he uses his Dekaja and Focus, what he's going to do is on his next turn, he's going to use Dekunda on himself, so he's not minus buffed. And then he's going to either physically attack you and just kill you outright. But if with the attack mirror, he won't do that. Or he'll use Death Flies. Death Flies is not a problem with this team. And the reason for that is because everyone on my team is Void Death. If you are not Void Death, he will insta-kill your guy. So Chimera, Loki, any of those guys, if they're in here, they just die immediately. The only other person that I could bring in is Daisojo or Black Frost because they are nicely resistant. But now that he is halfway through, he's going to continue to use Dekunda and Dekaja very frequently. So you're not going to get too many buffs on him, but what I like to do is try to keep one war cry on him at all times, and that way it lowers the amount of damage he can do to me to the point where Black Rider should be able to... Okay, well, yeah, that's what happens when he's focused. But actually, I think I explained just about enough, and what I can do now is just edit in the original footage of the second half of the battle, which happens, I started recording when he basically started enraging, so you're gonna see what I do from that point forward. Alright buddy, the cavalry's here. I have a new friend, the Black Rider, and he, well, let's see how he can do. 274, not bad. I have all my buffs up already, so hopefully we can burst this guy down real quick. I actually do have Makakaja on as well. It's not that powerful. Even with +4, it's not that good. Let's see, Glacial Blast. Yeah. Comments? It seems like fire is a little stronger against this guy, but it's still not that good compared to physical. Because I can get that Rakunda on. Really, Black Rider is here for healing. That's mostly all he's going to be doing. And I'm just gonna hope for the best, really. Try to do as much damage as I can before he does this. Yeah, it seems like he does it around 4,000 or so. Probably shouldn't have done Makakaja. Doesn't really help me there. All I can do is this. Just make sure he doesn't attack me on this turn before he cancels his own effects. I guess having 2 Makakaja is good, so my Midiorama can full heal. And this move, from what I can tell, it seems like it insta-kills if you're not resistant to something. I'm not sure what it is, probably death, but every time I bring in, say, the Chimera or the Sparna or anything that isn't null to death or expel, then they insta-die to that move. but well, all the riders are immune. And I have the Satan Magatama on right now, which is why I can survive. I'm not gonna bother probably should have bothered. Okay. Bring in Chimera again. Let's help with that. This guy is seriously pretty difficult. At the start, I was saying how he's low-key difficult. No, he's up there, definitely. Because usually, in games there are two types of bosses. There are the bosses that just completely destroy you real quick, real fast. That's like the Matador, Mara. I would categorize as something like that. But this guy, no, he takes his time. He's one of those bosses that slowly destroys you. And it is really hard to keep myself sustained. Especially since he keeps removing my buffs, and Chimera should die there, yeah. So, yeah, it is an insta-kill. Okay, well, the Black Frost is resistant to death as well, so he's another choice I could bring in. I'm gonna have to restore my MP. Honestly, without the buffs at this rate, it's really just gonna take so long. Test of endurance. I can't say I'm particularly happy that this is going to be a long, stretched out fight. God, that is powerful. Yeah, I really can't do any damage to him without Rakunda. All I can really do is hope that he's around halfway dead, because usually that's when they enrage. But even with that extra cavalry, this is not looking good. Eventually, he's just gonna hit me with a crit and kill K. And there's really nothing I can do. So it seems the best way to beat this guy really is to just accept the fact that it's going to be a really, really long fight, and you're gonna have to win the battle of attrition. And I think the only real advice I have is that you want to make sure you keep War Cry on him at all times, at least one level. So he should be at -2 at all times. Even if he uses the Kunda afterwards, just try to keep War Cry on him as much as you can. I've been using MP items, I've been using everything I could to keep all my MP sustained. And, well, it's been working out so far. He looks like he's actually almost dead. And the battle's been going on for about 15 minutes. If I continue at this pace, I should be able to beat him. I have Tarukaja on my guys, and that's it. No other buffs. It's also really helpful to have everyone immune to death, so that his death flies doesn't kill anyone. And it's extremely useful to have at least one demon that is resistant to lightning and one that is resistant to wind. So occasionally you'll be able to eat some of his turns. I probably need to restore Black Rider's MP here. But let's get my focus attack going first. Just a bit more. Okay, let's see. I still have a chakra pot. Might not need all that MP, because he really does look like he's really weak now. But just in case. He actually hasn't used focus on me for a while, so I don't know if I'm being a little lucky here. But hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. If he Mega Deleons, that's bad. Okay. I'll probably have to revive him. Am I focused right now? Yeah. Got this guy, he's taking it up another notch. No more bombs. Okay. I can't eat that Mazionga anymore. That's bad. He's gotta be close. White Rider might die. Die? No. Come on, be kind, man. Stop doing this. I'll have to bring in someone else. Sparna, you'll do. As you can see, I used Loki and the Nue to fuse my Black Rider. That's why you don't see Loki anymore. Okay. Man, I don't know why I thought the Choco Pot was overdoing it, because this guy, seriously. Oh. That was such a long and grueling battle. And it feels really good to finally have beaten it. We get Void Death for our troubles, and I think I'll give up Void Curse isn't that good. It's only... Curse is like only poison and something else. I think poison and stone. Venom Claw. It's okay, I have items for that. Really tough. Seriously. Maybe one of the hardest battles in the game so far, I think. Not because of just how powerful he is, but because he does hit really hard. But not being able to use buffs is actually really challenging, because I've gone through the entire game using buffs. So... well, let me just fix my party here. Black Rider has mana refill, so I'm not worried about that. And I'll be able to heal everyone up soon. But I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm gonna save with a save state. And next time we'll see if we can reach the end of the 4th Kalpa and maybe even dive into the 5th one. But considering how hard that was, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.